Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another production of the Cross-Platform Baseball League. We are back with another weekly roundup tonight for you. We were off last week, so we have a lot to go over, and it is me, Dwayne, bringing it to you, quarterbacking it, and with me in the booth once again is Oxbox, up there at the top of AAA right now, hanging out. How you feeling, Ox?
Hey, what up, Dwayne? It's good to be back, man. We haven't been in the booth together in a while, so glad to be here doing some weekly roundup with you again.
Yeah, it is great to be back in the booth with you indeed, my friend. Like I already said, we have a ton of stuff to go over. We have our plays from last week that we're going to get the show and feature for you guys here on stream. We have our plays from this week. We have our rankings, our StatCast, and a little something extra to go over for you guys. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get ourselves sorted out here. Just give me a moment to...
Yeah, we got a spicy little surprise later on in the show. Stay tuned.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting. Towards the middle portion, what we're going to bring out to you, some stuff we want to revisit and go over. But first thing is first, we have our rankings. And starting us off in AAA, it's going to be Dad Slush dropping from number 14, where everybody was tied up last week.
Yeah, we still got a little bit of a log jam down there in the near the bottom of AAA. We've got some guys needing some games to get played. Dad Slush finally starting to get the ball rolling there on his games played.
Yeah, through 6 games played so far, so he's definitely looking to pick up the pace on his season. We're going to slide up the board to 13, 14, and 15. As I said, a couple of these teams were tied up at 14th last week. Joey actually taking that leap from his pseudo 16th place, where he kind of felt like he was at 2 weeks in a row, up to 14. And on either side of him, he's sandwiched by Cardiac Card and the Naturals and Astro Death.
Yeah, like I said, bit of a log jam, but like something like Joey could take silver lining in is I feel like he could beat any of these guys for sure. As we just saw him play a tight series with Dad Slush, and Cardiac's still looking for his first win here in AAA. So we'll kind of see where these guys stack up when they actually play against each other. But again, these guys just looking to get some momentum rolling into the end of the regular season when we have that big reset button.
Yeah, indeed. These guys lacking a little bit on games besides Joey, so we'll see how they end up shaking things out come season's end. We're going to keep sliding up here to 10, 11, and 12. We got the Central Jersey Bikers staying where they are at 10th, followed by the Plum Island Pirates, who've been taking a steady dip as of late, needing to get back on the bike. And we've got the Magicians and Rick at number 12 once again.
Yeah, Rick kind of staying put. We haven't seen them in action, the Magicians, in a while here, but I'm sure we'll see more out of him soon. The Pirates and Bikers, both a little bit of a tricky team to try to place in the rankings. They're both capable of beating anybody, but both, as you see, with losing records so far. But like Rise and Fall, he just played myself and Mama June to like really, really close games here in the last couple days. So, Rise is a guy that, Bikers too, D-Still, they can play with anybody. They're just looking to put some more wins together here.
Yeah, indeed. Like you said, I think both of those players can come out of this on the other side of it. Just going to be a matter of how the second half of the season goes for them, with D-Still over 18 games, Rise at 16 games now. So they got games in hand to play. If everybody sticks around, we got the full 30-game season, but it's going to happen fast. So we'll keep sliding up to 7, 8, and 9. We've got Tezzy over here, 7 and 6, rank 7. Mystery Man follow him up at rank 8, and then a little bit of a jump from the Federal All-Stars and Bus.
Yeah, Bus putting together a pretty good a few amount of wins. He's playing a tough strength of schedule, as you see there. And then Mystery Man kind of staying put at 8. He's had a bit of a dip, but he's also, we saw him get those 2 great wins on Match of the Week this past Sunday, and actually swept D-Sil and the Bikers. So, it's hard to rank him behind D-Sil when you have somebody with a sweep like that. But I think Joey the Bus actually swept Mist. So, a lot of parity going on. And then Tezzy, we saw Tezzy start off slow, but he's come on really strong as of late. I think Tezzy started 0-5, Dwayne, and now he's up to 7-6. So, bit of a milkman type resurgence.
Yeah, we've seen that from him in the past, and I think we're going to continue to see his offense continue to roll. You can see his runs scored per 9 is at 7.1, which is an insanely high amount for where he is in the AAA right now. So we'll see if he keeps that trend going. We're looking at 4, 5, and 6 now. It's another formidable group here in the AAA. This top 6, really hard to get everybody ranked out and shake it out after all the action, but we have Finite taking a small drop from rank number 3, followed by Fireball Max and his Miami Knights, who have put up some insane offensive numbers. And then No Name, who's looking to really get the ball rolling through 10 games. He's looking good.
Yeah, we're going to see No Name atop the pitching stats again here in AAA, well known as one of the better pitchers. And then Fireball Max, kind of the opposite, one of one of the best bats in the game for sure. As you see, the ridiculous 10.69 runs per 9 scored, the 20 home runs, and just all the run scoring we're seeing out of the Miami Knights. Finite, who someone who's just an all-around really good player, just went on a little bit of a vacation, but he's coming back with a bang tonight. I saw him; he's slated to play D-Sil and Black Coffee tonight, so big couple of sets for the Scotties.
Yeah, those are going to be huge games here on this week for Finite to, like you said, get his ball back rolling again after being on vacation. And just a little bit to say about No Name, like I said, he's only through 10 games, but batting average 345. He's not known for, being up there with the sluggers, but he's found his way on base. We'll see if Shaka treats him well going forward in this season, because, he can hang with the best of them if he's got, the friendly confines working in his favor.
Yeah. And Dwayne, that's an absolute nightmare stat for the rest of AAA to see him batting 345 with a 363 OBP, because when those no-name base runners are on base, they're going to be stealing. So for him to be hitting that high of a clip is just trouble for everyone else, the way he pitches too.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of trouble for everybody else, we have the AAA top three here. A bunch of run scorers in and of themselves. If you ask me, you got Ox over here at number 1, followed by Mama June June, who's coming in hot. And then the big improvement season from Black Coffee and the Pumas, a big, well-deserved rank number 3.
Yeah, stay tuned. More to come on the Pumas resurgence here in season 13, and a well-deserved top 3 spot in these power rankings. So shout out to you, Black Coffee. You're having a hell of a season, and finally putting some respect on the guy's name. He's been near the top of the rankings all season, but doing a good job. Like we said, having a hell of a season. And then Mama June goes without saying. This guy's scoring more runs than anyone else in the league, and look at those home runs and strikeouts, run conversion percentage, just everything crazy offensively.
Yeah, more home runs and strikeouts. That's nuts. Mama June June able to get on any ball in the strike zone. We'll see if he's able to keep it up come playoff time in the AAA. It's going to be a dogfight.
Scoring the 12 runs a game at Shaka too. I'm imagining that Mama June's played a lot of sets this season where both games have been at Shaka here in the AAA. So to score that many runs a game is pretty impressive.
No, definitely. He's hitting his gaps. He's getting on base and getting it done. So we'll see how that looks in the playoffs. Like we said, it should be exciting. I think we'll have to make you guys all just play on 90 and call it that.
Yeah, stay tuned for the playoff ego, guys.
Yeah. We've got the XBL rankings now coming up for us on this Tuesday evening, starting us off at rank number 16, second week in a row. It's Ed and the Sirloins, who have had a really tough time swinging the bat.
Yeah, Eddie, on 90, it's been a jump for, all the guys coming up from AAA, but don't sleep on Eduardo. We've seen him, he can pitch you to a somewhat quiet total. And at this point, he's just a guy who's looking to steal some wins and ruin someone else's season. But don't sleep on Eduardo.
Yeah, let's see if he's able to play some close games, grind some wins out here with his final 12 games of the season. We're moving up to ranks 13, 14, and 15. It's Dark Raider and the Montreal Moose, who dropped from rank number 12, followed by Chronicles and the Femme Fatales, and Mers and his Summits, both where they were last week.
Yeah, it's a bit. I wouldn't say. It's hard to say Montreal's dropped at least the level of play, because we saw the Moose get a great win against Mike. I saw him split that series with the big walk-off home run, and the Moose have been pitching a lot of really good teams to low totals. Much like Mers has been, all three of these guys really good pitchers in their own rights, and a tough opponents to beat, but just hard to put a lot of wins together. They've played a lot of close games, but as you see those runs scored per 9 numbers, not where they'd hope they'd be.
Yeah, definitely some improvement to be had for these players, but they have time in the late season to keep themselves in the mix, especially Mers and Dark Raider over there at 5 wins. Nothing's quite over yet when you're down there with at least 5 wins, so should be interesting.
Yeah, they're fighting for that 12 spot.
Yeah, that 12 spot's going to be an interesting fight as usual. We're looking at ranks 10, 11, and 12, some other players that might be in that mix. It starts off with Flash dropping from rank number 9 to number 10. Then you got Yeezus taking a jump up from number 12, and then Wishbone taking a tough dip from rank number 7. He started off pretty hot, but has had a rough stretch of games. The strength of schedule, though, number 2.
Yeah, we see Flash and Wish, like you said, both lowering their ranks this week, but both guys, look at the weeks they had, the lineups of opponents they've had this past week. It's pretty tough, as, knocking out the top strength of schedule in the XBL for sure. But we see a big jump from the Milkman. He got his milk in the diet this week, Twain. A couple of big sweeps, 3 sweeps actually, riding a nice winning streak. As we saw the early season slumber, he's turned it on once again.
Yeah, look at him, 9 and 11. He's done it each and every season he's been here. Really started off slow, 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins through the first couple weeks, and then in the midseason, all of a sudden he's almost 500 again, and then maybe above it. So if he could come off the start that he had and come out of the AAA and finish above 500 and make the playoffs, that's a humongous season from the Milkman.
Yeah, making a strong rookie season here so far in his XBL debut, but don't sleep on the guys next to him, Flash and Wishbone. Both proven they're capable of beating anybody. They're just on a bit of a downhill slump right now with the opponents they face.
Yeah, I know Flash's space pod's about to land on his satellite pretty soon, so once he gets there, I think he's really going to be on a trending upward with his skills. Let's keep going up the board now to ranks number 7, 8, and 9. We have a tie here at rank number 7. We got Speedy and Webb there. Well-deserved both players. Speedy taking a jump up, Webb taking a jump down, and then followed by Permatil and the Flippers, who have played a lot of close games this season.
Yeah, we actually saw Permatilt beat the Great Weaver for Prez in a close game, and just the other night played Ashnod to a very close game. So, Full Tilt making a great name for himself this season. He's played a lot of guys really close. And Speedy, we've seen Speedy and Webb both respectively put together some great wins this season. So I think they both earned their spots in the top 8 here. Doing a great job.
Yeah, both through 16 games, both those players, 18 games for Permatil. All these players about to play the second half of their schedule. Going to be really interesting going forward, how the standings shake out among them. We're going to look at ranks 4, 5, and 6. These players here had some strong weeks. We have Weaver, Mike, and myself. Myself trading places pretty much with Mike. Mike taking the well-deserved jump up.
Yeah, we'd seen the Couch Potatoes take a little bit of a dip in the rankings here in weeks past, but Mike seems to be back with some monster wins. 2-0 against Webb, 2-0 against Ashnod, sweeping Ashnod. We never see hardly anybody put the sweep to the Blues. And then, as we mentioned, Raider got a huge split against Mike, but other than that, he's been red hot. And like you said yourself, taking a little bit of a downward turn as you took some losses this week. But we did see you beat Lazy and Ashnod this season, Wayne. So, capable of anything are the Sun Sox.
Yeah, not worried too much about the regular season down in South Jersey. We'll see how things go come playoff time. Having 12 wins kind of hopefully puts us in that mix. Mike and Weaver looking strong this season. Mike, like I said, I think on a really big swing in the right direction.
Yeah, all three of you guys, as tough as opponent as you're going to face in the XBL, can't sweat regular season losses too much. You guys are going to be battling for seeding up there right now, but at this point, it's going to come down to who's your playoff matchup and how do you execute. But you still got to take care of business. Make sure you lock up one of those seeds.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing is quite set in stone yet, as we are in week 4 now of the XBL season. A shortened season, though, and it's going to be 6 weeks, so we're getting to the end of it fast. Let's look at the top ranks here in the XBL. No changes from last week. You got Lazy and his Black Jackals at 13-1, followed by Luke and his Forward Wisconsin at 18-2, and Ashnod and the Blues coming back after their vacation, getting a lot of W's, 15-3.
Yeah, we're seeing some rare losses out of the top spots here lately, but not a lot of change, as you said. Luke got swept by the Beavers, but other than that, he's got a perfect record so far this season. We're still waiting on that Wisconsin matchup against both Ashnod and Lazy, though, as we had to sadly postpone the big match of the week between Luke and Ashnod that was slated. And then we've got, like we mentioned, Mike swept Ashnod, so he wasn't able to pass Luke in the rankings after Weaver swept Luke, so not a lot of change.
Yeah, we'll see what the next few weeks bring among this group here. It could be possible that there's some shaking up. Like you said, those games for Luke against these guys are going to be humongous, as they could really put him over the edge and in the conversation for it really being his season. But something that is a big contrast among this group, Lazy and Ashnod, the home runs looking good, the strikeouts low. Luke with a lot more strikeouts, but he's still getting it done. His pitching definitely tight this season.
Yeah, you see Luke with only 6.7 runs scored per 9 compared to over 10 for the other two guys. So that's where he's trailing a little bit offensively, but getting it done on the mound, only allowing 3.6 per 9 and holding opponents to under 300 batting average is pretty good by Luke. And yeah, like you said, we'll see how things shake out when he actually faces off against the guy to his left and the guy to his right. But I wouldn't count Luke out.
Yeah, I wouldn't count anybody out in this XBL season in the AAA or the XBL. It'll be very exciting once we get to week 6 to see how this is really shaping up. Next week, we might even whip out some brackets or some predictions at the very least to kind of go over as things start to shape up. Should be exciting. But for
Yeah, we're getting close to playoff time.
yeah, we really are. And like I said, it comes on to us quick here with the shortened week on this season. So let's move on now to Wishbone Spreadsheet Wizards stats to watch this week and last. The Moose excel in the trial, or excuse me, I have a alternate sheet here. I'm missing part of my sheet. Can you lead us off, Ox, if you have it?
Yeah, I got it. So more home runs than strikeouts. We actually have 2 players so far this season that have racked up more home runs than strikeouts, which I want you to think about that for a second. It's kind of ridiculous to think about, just to hit more home runs than you're actually striking out. But Ashnod's Coupon has 1 more home run, and Mama June has an astounding 23 more home runs than they do strikeouts. As a whole, the rest of the XBL and AAA averages over 5 times as many strikeouts as they do home runs. And if you're wondering, Ashnod has finished a season with more homers than Ks 3 times before, most notably his infamous 140 home run season 9, when he hit 53 more home runs than he did strikeouts. Only 3 other players that season even hit 53 home runs to begin with.
Wow, I mean, those numbers themselves are just insane. And Mama June going punch for punch with Ash, you know, and as the AAA version pretty much is looking really good down there right now. But there's so much to be said in those numbers. I mean, in a season where we expected power to really go down, you see Ash now just doing what he does best once again, and you know, just putting his stamp on the game.
Yeah, it's truly crazy. You know, Dwayne, I'm just hoping to not strike out as many times, you know, maybe walk more times than IK in a game or something. These guys are hitting more home runs than they are strikeouts. That's just, it's really hard to put into words what that means, but mind-boggling stuff. And yeah, like you said, Mama June, basically the AAA Ashnod nowadays.
Yeah, doing a great job down there in AAA, making a name for himself. We'll see how that works out for him. Like we said, it's going to be a dogfight in there as among the playoffs because you guys all are so good, scoring so many runs. Just will be a really, really exciting AAA bracket this season, I think. Probably one of the most exciting we've ever had. Moving on.
And speaking of excitement, the Pumas, Dwayne, talk to us about what Black Coffee's been doing this season.
Black Coffee and his Pike County Pumas are hot this season. After a respectable but tame freshman year, finishing at 8-18, Coffee is off to a 15-3 start so far this season, and he's accomplished this with some eye-popping offensive improvements, adding 131 points to his batting average, quadrupling his home runs per 9, more than doubling his walks per 9, and cutting his strikeouts per 9 in half.
Yeah, so all-around offensive improvement there by Black Coffee, and you know, he's a guy who really works on his game. He's also worked to improve his game on the mound as well, and just doing a great job, as you can see, atop the AAA stat boards and ranking boards, as he's got a top 3 record and top 3 offensive bat. You know, just not enough you can say about the guy, the season that he's having and the improvement that he's made. You know, from last season to this season, just dominating.
Yeah, dominating indeed. Black Coffee really having, like we said, the definition of a great sophomore season. We'll see if that, you know, bodes well for him in the playoffs. It's like I said already about Mama June, you know, that AAA playoffs. It's just going to be such a grind for everybody who's involved. It's going to be one of the tightest brackets ever with players like this who can just score almost at will. Like I said, I feel like we want to put you guys all the way up on 90 and just say, you know, go right ahead and have it out. It's like, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it is fun. I mean, I was up. I made a big comeback this year against Max and got mercied in the bottom of the 8th inning, all in that half inning. So that was pretty crazy. I mean, anything can happen. But Black Coffee certainly has made a name for himself at the top of the AAA. It's going to come down to who can make some pitches, I think. But you know, speaking of all the excitement in AAA and in XBL. There's been a lot of heartbreaks. There's been a lot of fist bump, but you know, it's not an illusion. Those are real. Wishbone has actually quantified that into a stat for us.
Yeah, he says, have you been stressed out more than usual this season? We've all got sweaty palms and racing hearts with the number of games decided by just one run. In Season 12, for example, 53 of 298 games were decided by one run, or around 18%. So far in Season 13, 51 compared to 53 of 142 games compared to 298 games in the XBL have been decided by one run, or 36%. That doubles the number of one-run games in the XBL. And if you're wondering about walk-off wins in the ninth inning or later, Season 12 had 19 of them, which was 6% of all games. This season has 15 already, which is 11%.
Yeah, so already we're halfway through on games played, basically, and we're twice the number of really close games or dramatic games. And just that speaks to the parity of both leagues, I think. But also, it builds a lot of excitement. You love seeing games like that. You love seeing the back and the forth, the late game dramatics, and you don't want to see blowouts. You want to see fist bumps and heartbreaks.
Yeah, you want to see close ball games. It's great for the neutrals and, everybody involved except for the people who usually come out on the losing end. So, we'll see how things go going forward with all these numbers. The games have been tight. We'll see if that carries over into the big playoff games that we have, the big series that we have among, some of the best of the best. We really hope it does. It all makes for entertaining baseball.
Yeah, and guys, once again, just huge shout out to Wishbone for coming up with this stuff. These are not things that we would have ever been able to find on our own with, scouring over the stats, and he just comes up with them every week for us. So thanks again to Wish.
Yeah, shout out to him for really putting this together. These are always a big highlight of doing the show. So just keep it up and let's keep looking into the great stats that we're able to produce here. It's all in the numbers, baby. And speaking of numbers, we got a number of submissions over the past couple of weeks for plays. We would like more, so keep submitting them and clipping them as you will. I know it's hard to remember in the moment if you don't get them right then and there, but we have our plays from last week we're going to start off with for you guys, and this is play number 5. This is a game between Rise and Fall and Finite Provision, where Rise has already got an early lead. I think Finite ends up winning this game, but the catch here from Jimmy 6, Jimmy Money, I mean, come on, baby.
Yeah, what a play here by Finite. He gets the full extension and then some. A little bit, these are tricky to time. He had to actually dive and then slide on the ground and then make the catch. So that's about as max extension as you can get.
Yeah, that's the old slip and slide that play there. That's a great play from Finite. Like I said, only guy out there that can do it like that is Jimmy Money.
Yeah, great play indeed. And Finite won this game in a very close score.
Moving up the board to the next play of the week. This is a one that was submitted by Ox on the behalf of Bus, because Bus literally can't stop robbing home runs.
Yeah, the guy is an absolute burglar out here. Just made a great play on me, and I think shout out to Mama June for clipping this one. But and that's a reminder, Dwayne. If you're watching a game and you see a great play happen, clip it for someone else. That's a great favor you can show someone. But yeah, again, shout out to Under the Bus. We've seen him multiple times this season rob someone of a home run.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job out there in the field. It always seems like there's somebody in the AAA who's always making all kinds of web gems that can't seem to avoid being on the top plays. So great job by him. Great improvement this season in the field. We've got a play here from Dark Raider in a series versus me. This is another great extension layout catch from him in the left center field gap.
Yeah, we see it. Joe St. Pierre, he's been a frequent visitor of the highlight reel this year, and the Montreal Moose getting it done, robbing. Who was that hitting, Dwayne?
Let's take another look at when the hitter swings the bat.
Was that a Dong?
It looks like yeah, that was Junior Dong batting right-handed. So that ball was hit hard too.
Yeah, heck of a play, and we're gonna see Raider again here later on in this reel.
Yeah, absolutely. But first, we have a play from the AAA. This is a 3-2 ball game. One man on bottom of the ninth and missed. Steps into one to right center field. See you later. That's the ball game.
Yeah, mystery man Googs stepping up, a pinch hit, walk-off blast, and this was a game I was watching this game, Dwayne. Cardiac was dominating missed most of this ball game, and he got a base runner on, a bloop and a blast, as they say, and Miss comes from behind in the bottom of the ninth to steal one from Cardiac, who's still looking for that, that first W, but I'm sure he'll get it soon.
Yeah, tough luck there for him. He probably thought he had it, but missed. Like I said, stepped into one with that pinch hitter. Googie off the bench. Nice job. The number one play from last week is a play submitted by Joey against Diesel. We see Diesel here, bases loaded in the 9th inning, stealing home. If I could get it to play right. Sorry, we've had these issues before in the past, getting the multitude of clips that we have here to play in succession.
Yeah, we have a few different types of clips that are submitted. I think this one was from a switch off Twitter. So
yeah, but you see Diesel here getting the
there
clean
it is.
steal of home in a game that he ends up winning by 1 run. So amazing here. Timing and, just gusto to go for that with 2 outs. Joey caught completely off guard.
2 outs, 2 strikes in the 9th inning, Dwayne. That's just a really ballsy play. And then he takes the pitch low. And like you said, catching Joey napping. But how can you be expecting a steal home in that spot in that count?
Yeah, I don't know how you could even be planning to do that if he was planning at all, or he probably just felt it in the moment and to get it done. That's a great heads-up play by Diesel.
Yeah, the game-winning steal there in the 9th to go ahead. And now we've actually got a special little spicy treat for you guys. We're going to do a revisitation.
Yes, a revisitation to Cooch Potatoes hot takes from the beginning of this season from our preseason show. And me and Ox going to go down the list here, see what's hot, what's not, what might be trending in the right direction, what looks like complete crap. And yeah, so without further ado, I think it's exciting to take a look at nobody hitting more than 75 home runs this season. We did a little digging on that beforehand, and Ox, what did we find?
Well, if we put an asterisk in nobody, then this was actually a good take. But Ashnod is going to be well on his way to 75 home runs, which is, crazy to think about because he's like twice as many or more than anyone else in the league as far as on pace for that.
Yeah,
like 53 home runs.
He has 54 home runs, and he's got 18 games played. He's got 12 left to play, and a regular player saying, "Hey, hit 21 or more home runs in the next 12 games you play." I don't think that's a very easy task, but for Ashnod, there's a pretty good shot that he's going to hit those home runs. But we'll see. I mean, that's actually the way when we put it out on paper like that. I mean, 21 home runs in 12 games is a lot. But
yeah, it is a lot.
We'll see if he can.
That's about 1.5, 2 a game. We'll see if he can do it. I wouldn't put it past him, but it's something we'll have to revisit. But as far as everyone else, I think we said Weaver and Lazy were like 39-ish home runs. So
yeah, Weaver's at 39, Lazy's at 35. So at their respective around 2.5 per 9, I don't think they're really going to quite reach it.
Yeah, we might see some AAA guys come close, but I don't think anyone other than Ashnod is going to get there as far as the XBL.
That is very true. In the AAA, you see, we do have the Pumas at 50 right now, leading the league. So a couple players in that conversation as well. The Bulls and the Holograms up above 40.
Oh, nice. Mike predicted himself that he would not finish in the top 6, which honestly, early on in the season, Dwayne, this was looking like a spot-on prediction. The fix was in. But now it seems like Kutch is back. He's back in the top 6 of our power rankings.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken a little bit of a back seat there. I was trying to push for that a little bit, and Webb, I think, has taken a few losses and dropped out of it. But you have now Speedy on the upswing, so we'll be seeing Cooch and Speedy kind of fighting for that 5-6 role. If Webb can push with his remaining games for that 6th spot instead of 7th, then you might actually see Mike get the push down. But he's looking hot lately. I think he's going to stay in there and continue to get W's.
Yeah, we actually saw Wishbone up there as well. He even swept Mike a couple weeks ago, but as we mentioned, had a tough week this week with the schedule and some of the losses he took. So, top 5, top 6 looking pretty illustrious right now. But Mike finishing outside that top 6 is looking unlikely, the way he's played lately. And Lazy not making the World Series. I mean, we finally saw a chink in the armor as you were able to beat Lazy, and we've actually seen him play some close ball games this regular season on 90. So obviously that's one we're going to have to revisit when it comes down to it, but not unthinkable.
Yeah, still not unthinkable. I think I'm leaning still hard on the Wisconsin forward. or Forward Wisconsin, and Luke, he's had a great season, and Mike's on a resurgence. Ashnod wants a title. Weaver would love to three-peat. So I think you've got a lot going on here that says Lazy is gonna have to go through hell to try and get a title. But there's no saying he does not make the World Series yet. He's had a great season.
Yeah, I definitely would not bet on Lazy not making it there, but I don't think it's unthinkable that he could get tripped up along the way or in the World Series. But yes, shout out to the Black Jackals. They're having a great season. Eduardo top 8 gang. I don't think that's going to happen. But I remember in the pregame show, Dwayne, I said I think somebody from AAA in their rookie season could end up making the playoffs. So, I think that's certainly definitely in play, but Eduardo's not looking like a top 8 record-wise.
Yeah, not the hottest take now for Mike here, but Eduardo, like we said, could still play some spoiler, and you said Yeezus, I think being the player that you're alluding to at this time at least, is making a good push, so someone from AAA very well could be in these playoffs. It's going to be very exciting to see if he's able to accomplish that. Sliding down the list, we've got someone not Weaver winning the Von Asen. Well, I mean, all things considered, if you want to go by, innings and stuff, Weaver's played some short games. Lazy's also played some short games. The pair of them have really comparable pitching stats. I mean, Lazy's looking great this season, as he usually does. Weaver, his Von Asen self, as he usually does. And then Speed Demons trying to sneak in there. He's up towards the top in pitching. Everybody else kind of outside the pack right now, so tough to say what we've got going on in the XBL as far as pitching goes. That's a challenge, Weaver.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, Dwayne, when you're in the XBL, it really depends on, have you played some of the higher powered offenses yet, or have you not played them? Because those are going to be, whether you win or lose, a lot of times those are going to tank your pitching stats. Unless you're Kutch and you can hold Ashnod to back-to-back under 5-run ball games or something like that. But, we'll see if anybody, much like the Lazy not making the World Series, we'll see if someone challenges Weaver for the Von Asen, really challenges them or not.
Yeah, it will be a tough fight if somebody does. Like you said, they need to really nail down the rest of their schedule and pitch well against the big teams to do it. But, there's still plenty of time, plenty of games in hand for a lot of these players to shorten up those numbers. The AAA preseason
absolutely.
number 1 does not finish in the top 4. Who was number 1? Was that Finite?
That was Finite Provision. It was a bit unthinkable of a take at the time, but now we see the Scotties. They are not in the top 2 or 3 records now, so it could happen.
Yeah, I think that's going to really be a toss-up between yourself, Mama June, and maybe even Coffee, but Finite right now, not looking like he's going to finish in the top 4, maybe not. I mean, he's playing Coffee right now, apparently scores in right now that he's up on Black Coffee, so I think there's just so much, in that ladder amongst the top players of AAA that you, in another couple weeks when we revisit this once again, I think we'll really have a good picture.
Yeah, and the last hot take still holding strong so far. It's been in jeopardy, but so far we haven't had any drops this season from either league. It's been a while, I think, since we've had no dropouts across the board, but still keeping our fingers crossed on that one. Keep playing your games.
Yeah, everybody keep playing your games. We saw even Dad Slush picking it up this week, getting things going. He's got himself a new modem, thanks to Ox, rocking and rolling. So we are looking good in the AAA and the XBL, and a nice 30-game season for everybody is exactly what we asked for, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to see it, and just keep on getting those games in. Keep submitting top plays so we have content for you guys, and we can't wait to revisit some of these hot takes as the final part of the season plays out.
Yeah, and we're not done yet, though. Now that we've finished our hot takes, we have our plays from last week to go over, in addition to our plays from the week before. So in our 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 order, let's kick these bad babies off. This is the game between Mike and Dark Raider, which Dark Raider won in a clutch 1-0 fashion. Here, he's taken away a home run from Mike with St. Pierre again in the outfield.
Yeah, here he is again, Joe St. Pierre, and this, like Dwayne just said, this ended up being a 1-0 ball game, and the reason it stayed 0-0 here is because Raider took one away from Cutchy, so what a play by Joe St. Pierre.
Yeah, awesome to get those types of plays. That was a tough pitch to hit, you know, up and in. If that actually got out, Mike would have been pretty impressive to inside out that pitch. This next one here is from Yeezus, actually. This, you'd think this catch him out, throw him out, double play here would be the play, maybe. I mean, it's a pretty good play. But this is a game where I was up 7-1, 7-2, and this is Yeezus hitting a 3-run home run to take the lead and eventually win the game.
Yeah, it was actually a great play there by Junior Dong. When I was watching the highlight channel, I thought that was the highlight. Like, what a play to preserve the lead. But then the very next pitch, like you said, punishes it to take the lead. And that's a dagger in the hearts of all the Pine Sox fans.
Yeah, it was a tough
Sun
sweep
Sox.
to take from the hands of Yeezus, but like we said, he's had a hot mid-season here. He deserves it, and he's looking good, trying to push for a playoff spot. So, well-deserved play. Going back up the list, this is for Match of the Week. Just the other night, this is Fred Jones getting the tag over at third and then chucks him out by a step over at first for the double play against Joey. Great heads-up baseball from Mist.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It's great to see Mist making a great defensive play. Love putting him on here for a highlight reel defensive play as he gets a big double play to get out of a jam. Heck of a time to do it. You know, it's always nice to pull off a big defensive highlight when you're in a jam. So no better time for the Mystery Inc.
Yeah, nicely done by him, and no better time too than on prime time to, you know, make a big play. We go on
absolutely.
to our number 2 play of the week, and this is the first pitch of the bottom of the 9th in that 1-0 game we were talking about between Mike and Dark Raider. And there's Dark Raider putting it over the fence, closing the book on the game, and walking off Mike the Cooch.
Yeah, putting an exclamation mark on this game, and what a play we saw in left field by St. Pierre. And then, like you said, the walk-off home run to absolutely steal one from the Couch Potatoes. And Raider pitched really well in this ball game, so you know, love to see him get a win. Can't believe he shut out Mike the Cooch, but big win for the Moose.
Yeah,
he's still right there in playoff contention.
Yeah, can't win if you can't score, and you know, this has been the season of the close game, the 1-run ball game. So this is, you know, just another one of those games, another game where, you know, one team did just enough to win. So congratulations for Raider on the big win. And looking at the next play on our list, the number 1 play from last week, Ox, take it away.
Yeah, this is the Sun Sox. We've seen them on the wrong end of a couple highlight reels lately, but here's one they're on the bright side of. The monster comeback in the bottom of the 9th. I believe you were down 2 or 3 runs to start this inning, Dwayne, against the GOAT himself, Lazy. Getting rinsed at the bowl with a nice hit up the chute to walk it off.
Yeah, it's probably in the thousands and thousands of innings that I've played, and you know, the over 3,000 hits that I've accumulated in this league. That's probably one of my favorite ones, and one of the most pumped up moments I've ever had. So glad to be able to stick that one in there this week.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That had to feel something special. As not a lot of people have ever beaten Lazy in any kind of a ball game, but definitely a special moment right there when you get the game-winning walk-off hit, but also complete a monster comeback. So, you know, shout out to the Sun Sox. They're looking dangerous.
Yeah, and that'll be it here for us tonight. Great amount of content for us, Ox, that we brought everybody. A really fun roundup. And yeah, we have a little bit more baseball to play. Weeks 5 and 6 coming up after week 4 here. So we are ready for the playoffs coming soon, and everybody's doing a really great job of getting games in. So just keep it up.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And there's some good XBL baseball going on right now. So go jump in those games and keep on getting your highlight submissions in and keep playing games. Can't wait for the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you, Ox, for being here with us tonight. Thank you, Wishbone, for putting together the stats. Thank you, everybody, for playing those games to give us those stats, and everybody else who makes this happen here at the XBL. We'll be back with some match of the week later this week, and keep your eyes peeled on the stream channel for all of our streamers playing games. Everybody, enjoy the rest of the season. We'll see you next week. Dwayne and Ox out. Have a great night, everybody.
Later, guys.